Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
This place alone, being the Green Bay Packers quarterback and all the great QB play that's been here.
It is an outstanding get by Matt LaFleur and by Brian Gutekunst, their general manager.
I think all along, I mean, you know, he made so many big plays early on. He had so many wow throws. It just was the consistency.
The Green Bay Packers can have more success as a team with Jordan Love than they did under Brett Favre or with Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think you'll see a difference in the person. I don't think we would do something like that if we felt that way.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I think this is a home run for them to be able to get this contract done.
Definitely just goes to show, you know, the Packers putting their trust and their faith in me for the next 4 years. And
his teammates really certainly respect him. They respect the man. They respect the work he puts in.
Jordan Love is going to have this team in position, in my opinion, year after year after year.
It's something that I'm focused on earning every day and going out and put my best foot forward for them, for the team, for the organization, and everybody chasing that goal of winning a Super Bowl.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
I have never, ever wanted to be on a show more than Monday on this program. I was having the biggest FOMO as y'all were sitting here on Monday morning talking about Jordan Love and being the guy and getting the deal, the bag with the Green Bay Packers. And I am sitting there flying to Tuscaloosa, just gnashing my teeth like, oh, I want to talk about this. Oh, God. And I'm listening, and you guys are talking, and I did not get the vibe, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, because, you know, I have been known to be wrong. You tell me if I am wrong. Were y'all not that excited about Jordan Love signing the big deal with the Packers and being the guy and putting the NFC on notice? Like, were y'all not excited about this?
Well, first of all,
it's a Monday.
What's going on over there, Borat?
Yeah. First of all, it's a Monday. I don't get excited about anything on Monday.
You're sitting on, I mean, you are high up there today. You are sitting pretty high. Like, I don't even know if you're standing. You might be taller than when you're standing over there.
It's symbolic. Yeah. I want to make
Queen
sure
of the castle
everyone knows, okay? Are you feeling like I am above you? No, I'm kidding. I am high, but not the way I was. You know what? Never mind.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Were you guys not excited? Because I got to tell you, I'm listening, and it sounded to me, Gabe, like you were like, how about the pressure? Is he going to be able to withstand the pressure? The pressure is different now. And then it was like, are you nervous? Chewy was like, you didn't deserve the money, which, again, we all know the minutia and the details of how it works. It's timing more so than whether you have the numbers to back it up. Or were you guys not psyched about the Packers finally getting this deal done? We have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. They get it done. And my reaction was, oh boy, NFC, take a seat. Because to use this analogy, Gabe, now I feel like the Packers are me, sitting way up top on their perch, looking down on all the other teams in the NFC.
Was there doubt that they were going to get the deal done? Because that's the only way I think you get excited about it, when the whole thing was a foregone conclusion. It was just, okay, all right, figure it out so he can get on the practice field. And obviously that first padded practice was the real deadline versus the start of training camp. But when it's a foregone conclusion and you know he's not going anywhere, I don't think you're putting anyone on notice.
And 38% of the poll we took are unsure what kind of player he's going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Jason,
you can't say he's going to be
You do know
great.
38% is still the smaller portion of that poll,
No,
right?
but that was, I don't know if it was shocking. The number was a little shocking, but people are concerned.
So Jason was...
I'm not going to anoint the guy after 9 games. And he doesn't deserve this contract. So now he has to go out and prove it.
Jason,
a lot like my first deal when I hit the market at the perfect timing, free agency, first year starting. I didn't really deserve the contract. I had to go out and prove it, and that's where he's at.
Yeah, Jason was shocked by the results of our poll, Chew, of are you nervous about Jordan Love living up to expectations after signing his big extension? Same thing, 60-40. Yes, most people are excited, but that 40% number is certainly higher than I was anticipating.
I think, to be honest with you, I think that's a product of being a Wisconsin sports fan. I think that's a product of...
The 60 or the 40?
The 40% that don't know, that aren't sure. And again, I would argue that all of us are not sure. If you've convinced yourself that you're sure that Jordan Love is going to be the next thing, then you probably are a little high. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm judging at all. No, I'm just saying, like, as a Wisconsin sports fan, so many times you're waiting for the other shoe to fall. Right? We had talked about the Brewers having this fantastic season, seemingly making this run towards the postseason. Womp, womp, womp. Christian Yelich back now. Christian Yelich is going to try to push through this back injury. He is not going to have season-ending surgery, as you guys have been discussing, but I think there is a mindset of the fan base that is still like, oh, God, they're wringing their hands and wondering what's going to happen next. And I think that is contributing to we're not sure who Jordan Love is more than any of the stuff Jordan Love has actually done on the field.
I don't think the organization knows.
Yeah, they do.
And that's why it took so long.
I think they know. If they didn't know, Chew, they're not trying to lock him up to a longer deal, which is the reports that have come out since the deal got done, since he signed on the dotted line, that the Packers are trying to lock him up for 5 years, maybe 6 years. And it was Jordan's camp that was like, no. We want 4. We want him to be able to hit free agency again before he turns 30. And that was some of the holdup as the deal was trying to get done, when we were like, what is taking so long? That at least was one sticking point, Gabe.
Sure, but also he's never hitting free agency.
Every player wants that. They wanted me my first one to sign a 4-year deal. I said, no, I'm signing 3. Yeah. If you bet on yourself, you want a shorter contract, which most guys will do.
Yeah, but in 4 years, they're renegotiating this deal anyway.
Or
if he's good. Well, again, to go back to the 60-40.
Or they're cutting him in 30. Either in 3 years they're cutting him, or 4 years they're renegotiating the deal.
Jen, you don't leave yourself outs in a contract if you knew the guy's going to be a Hall of Fame player. And they left themselves an out in his 4th year. Right?
Yeah, but aren't most places doing that? Other than the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson, aren't most teams now getting pretty savvy with the deals, Chew? And it's not. I don't think it's just the Packers.
You know who they won't do it with? You know who they will not do that with?
Who the Packers will not do it with? I just want to make sure.
NFL team will not consider that in their contract? Patrick Mahomes. They're not leaving themselves an out with Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
It'll be like, back it up.
Hypothetically speaking, if Jordan Love has a comparable level of success, if Jordan Love starts bringing this Packers team to the Super Bowl or to NFC championship games, all of a sudden, doesn't that tune change? All of a sudden, aren't you going beep, 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 back it up for that guy?
They'll probably want to blow the deal up in 2 years.
So again, Mahomes has the advantage of having been there, done that, been playing for a while.
Yes.
Jordan is just starting out his career. And I believe Matt LaFleur was on the record yesterday talking about this idea of players sitting, right? Because there's a lot of people out there who say, oh, the Packers have really figured this out. You draft a quarterback when you don't need it versus when you need it, and then they have the advantage of sitting. Let's hear from Matt LaFleur, who talked about the advantages that Jordan Love has faced not having to play right away.
I think if you just look at the history, whether it was Jordan or Aaron or even Pat Mahomes sat his rookie year for the majority of it. I think, would he have one start? I think there's a lot of good, a lot of benefit to allowing these guys to come in this league to try to soak it all in and not play too early. I mean, it was with Kirk Cousins and saw the benefits of that in Washington. So I think there's a lot of good examples across the league of guys coming in, waiting their turn a little bit.
So I think that's a big reason why, Chew, that he's had the success he's had. He was able to watch as long as he did.
Sure. That's always an advantage. It was an advantage for me. I didn't start until my 4th year. You knew what was going on. But being the highest paid player in NFL history, aren't you going to be uber critical of him this year? You can't just play good.
Oh, absolutely. But I think he's going to meet it. That's why when you guys were talking about the pressures, this is a guy who thus far has handled everything that's been thrown at him. I don't see him crumbling under the weight of being the highest paid quarterback in the league. I actually think he goes about his business the exact same. When they asked him right afterward, I believe it was on Monday, if he was going to buy anything, he was like, no. Like, there's a maturity there that the Packers have
got more
seen.
Expensive.
Yes, as you knew it would. You knew it would, right? But there's a maturity there, Gabe, that I think other teams would salivate to have, particularly at the quarterback position. I am more optimistic that this deal getting done, and again, like you said, it was sort of a formality that was going to get done, but there is sort of this, you take a deep breath and you go, okay, now we can go back to business. Now it's football as usual. Now everybody can kind of fall in line. There was a part of me that was like, this puts the Packers in a position to be an NFC championship team. I think this is a team with Jordan Love locked up, and they can focus on football, and they have this young team, and they have a new defense, which again, the jury's still out. We'll see how that goes. But I am very optimistic and excited that this team can be, at the very least, in the NFC championship game.
So you think they're a top 2 team in the NFC?
I think they can be, yes.
Are they a top 2 team in the NFC?
I mean, the jury's still out, but I think they can be, given having their quarterback locked up, the young offense that they have. If Jeff Hafley is as advertised and can turn this defense around, yes, I think they can be a top 2 team in the NFC.
So that's, again, there's a lot of ifs there.
Even though
there's a lot of ifs, and there's a lot of things that still need to come together with this team. And Chewy, I know you guys went through this. I don't know what the excitement level was in 1992 after you guys won, your first playoff game. And it was the first playoff game the Packers won in God knows how long, when Brett hit Sterling there in Detroit. I don't know if it was, now this team's ready to compete for NFC championships. I don't know if we're there yet. There's still a lot of growth that you guys had to do, and there's still a ton of growth that needs to happen with this team because it is still incredibly young.
And
they lack blue chip players right now.
Well,
that's not to say guys can't develop into that, but right now they lack a lot of blue chip talent versus the other top teams in the NFC.
And with remember Barnwell came out with ranking the skill positions?
Yeah.
They were last, Jen.
In the division.
And I didn't believe it at first until I took a deep dive into it, and I'm like, yeah, Minnesota's starting 3 is better.
But who's the quarterback?
Starting 3 is better. No, I'm just saying.
I understand what you're saying by the skill positions. So you
believe that everyone's going to develop into being a great player?
I think even if everyone doesn't, they have such depth at some of those positions that someone will. That's where I'm confident.
Yeah.
I also think that the commitment that they have made to Jordan Love and everything we hear about him, his work ethic, his leadership ability, all of those things are lining up so well. So yeah, we're going to see this season, but I feel like there's nothing stopping this team from being one of the top teams in the conference. And Chris Carlin was on Carlin versus Joe yesterday and had this to say about his perspective on the Green Bay Packers.
Actually look more at where they are at every other position right now. I personally am going to pick the Packers to be, I'm not convinced yet I'm picking them to go to the Super Bowl, but they're at least in the NFC Championship game this year.
And some of that is building on what they did this past year in his first year, where there's a huge learning curve, where there is, baby steps to success. And it's saying, well, if they build off of that, and we all saw it last year with the way they ended the season and the Cowboys game and the Niners game, then this team should be right up there in the top 4 teams of the league.
But let's just remember, this is gushy gush time of the year.
What is gushy?
Gushy gush.
Gushy gush?
Joe Barry's going to be more aggressive this year, and they're going to use Jair, and they're going to be fantastic. Let's just watch. That's gushy gush. Everyone loves one another. Everyone's great. Let's get to the regular, and we'll see. We will see. But I don't have pom-poms on and the little skirt and rah-rah, sis boom ba, hit him in the head with kielbasa. I want to watch. I will watch.
We got any cleaner to clean up Chewy's microphone?
No, my screen on my computer's got schmeg on it.
That's on you.
I know.
You did the raspberry.
You sold it. You decided to dive in head first.
Who sits here in the afternoon?
Kyle.
Kyle.
Sorry.
Might want to get a baby wipe.
I am more excited. I am more excited than it appears you guys were based on your reaction on Monday. I'm not saying you're wrong to be tempering your enthusiasm. I'm just saying that once they were able to put pen to paper to get Jordan Love signed, for me it was like, it's go time. Let's go. No more conversations, and I know we're talking about it this morning, so great irony, Alanis, but no more conversations about how's this going to get done, what's it going to look like, what are the guarantees going to be, what's the duration of the term, could they be pissing him off, how does that affect the locker room, like blah, 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 blah. Now everybody is just locked in to win games and get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it's not like it was with Giannis when there was a real chance that Giannis wasn't going to be a member of the Milwaukee Bucks until he assigned his Supermax deals that he did.
No,
right? Like,
but,
so I just...
No, but the hesitation was, Gabe, and this is a reality because of the Packers. I mean, the narrative was that they do tend to have lowballed players. And there was a question of, God, could they really be doing that? Could they really be with their guy that they picked, that they have been in alignment with? Could they really lowball the franchise quarterback?
I guarantee they did.
But I'm saying, because you guarantee that they did, and because I'm saying that narrative was out there, there was a little like, oh, please, guys, don't mess this up. Come on, don't do the thing where you're trying to nickel and dime the most important player at the most important position in the biggest league in the country. Can we not try to bargain bin our way through the quarterback, please?
Well, if they didn't, then the deal would have been done before camp.
But because of that reality,
But the reality was he wasn't going anywhere. Like he was always gonna play this year. I don't think he was ever gonna sit out a game because the Packers would have come to their senses and offered him the deal they ultimately offered him.
I think he was ready to sit out a game. I think his people prepared him and
saying the Packers would have realized that eventually, and like this deal was going to get done.
But as soon as Lawrence signed, he should have signed the next day because it's pretty much the same deal for the most part.
Lawrence got a few more,
Yeah,
a little stronger deal, but Jordan got.
But it was pretty comparable.
Yeah, very comparable.
It was very comparable. I don't know what the holdup was. I mean, it's not that difficult a contract. Yeah, knocked that thing out in about 8 hours.
You talk about Jordan Love. It was the guarantees, and it was the duration. How long? 4 or 5.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But that's what the holdup was. At least that's what the reports are that are coming out. And you knew they would. You knew that the reports would come out of what was taking so long, what they were not agreeing on, what Jordan wanted versus what the Packers wanted.
Who do you think won?
Jordan. Actually, and I know you guys talked about this earlier this week, it is mutually beneficial.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
It worked out.
I think it was a
because,
win-win.
again, I'm very optimistic. I'm bullish on Jordan Love. I really think this guy is going to get the dang thing done.
It's hard to call somebody who got $75 million signing bonus a loser in the deal. So he didn't lose.
No.
He's getting 25 now and then 2 other installments of $25 million as the season goes along. But $75 million coming your way in 2024 is never a bad thing.
And
the Packers
did get a break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah, Packers gave themselves their outs.
Yeah.
So I think it ends up being a win-win.
Yeah.
800-990-3776. I am very excited. I am thrilled. I cannot say enough about how happy I am that the Packers got the deal done with Jordan Love, albeit last Friday. It feels like an eternity has passed since then. And the guys put it on the poll. Are you as excited as I am? I know there is a tendency as a Wisconsin sports fan to temper your enthusiasm, to wonder if you are just being built up to be let down. And right now I'm saying, ignore that. Put that guy away. Put him in a little cabinet, right? Just keep him over there. Right now is the time to be very excited about Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. 800-990-3776. We got a lot of stuff to get to today on the show. I brought the guys a surprise. We'll get to that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we've got an issue on northbound on the Rock Freeway just past Racine Avenue. It is off on, actually, the right lane is blocked with a semi that's broken down. Squad's with it, so we're seeing some delays heading into that area. Westbound on 894, backed up from west of 27th Street all the way to Forest Home. Also got some delays on westbound 94 from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Rest of the system looking pretty good. Traffic is brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Book your fantasy football draft party for a free draft kit, free room rental, free appetizers, and more. Dave & Buster's, your ultimate fantasy football draft experience. Visit dnbparty.com to get started. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy, hot and humid, a high of 88. Tonight, partly cloudy and muggy with a chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 72. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
In season, off season, draft season. Whatever season it is, we are Milwaukee's place to talk green and gold. Listen, watch, or stream live whenever, wherever. 94.5 ESPN.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns
right.
to turnovers, no, and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV, and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Temps are heating up, and so are the ticket deals this summer with Vivid Seats. Whether it's scoring tickets for a night out at the ballpark or witnessing the rising stars of women's basketball, Vivid Seats has you covered. With a robust rewards program and wide selection of tickets, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you the peace of mind for the ultimate fan experience. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He hates the ending of all comedies. Apparently doesn't like happy endings.
I love happy endings. Don't take it that far.
Muy
bueno.
Maybe that's a vote for Groundhog Day for you.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I fell for the devil's daughter. I jumped in, yeah, I drank the water. Tell me, doctor, can you fix my brain? 'Cause everyone that says I'm insane, help me loosen this ball and chain. There's no use talking, I'm a dead man walking.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The gang is back together. I was in Alabama on Monday and Tuesday shooting a feature for game day. I got to tell you guys, by the time the season starts, by the time we leave for Dublin on August 19th, I'm going to have 4 features shot.
Ooh.
4 chew. That means those are 4 features over the course of however many weeks this season is, because I don't have the heart to look quite yet, that I don't have to shoot during the week of. That is a huge advantage. And as I'm driving through the beautiful countryside of Alabama.
Is it?
No.
I've never been. I don't think.
I thought that was.
No.
You've never been to
implied.
Yeah. I mean, you've been to Mississippi. You didn't travel over to Bama?
I stopped
just out
at
of curiosity.
Mississippi. I thought I went far enough.
I saw a billboard that said Buc-ee's 40 miles. Then I saw another billboard that said Buc-ee's 30 miles. Buc-ee's 20 miles, Buc-ee's 10 miles, Buc-ee's 5 miles, Buc-ee's next exit. Well, you know what I had to do? I had to pull into the old Buc-ee's. I had never been to Buc-ee's before, and my only experience with Buc-ee's was Chewy talking about how when you and your wife were road tripping to Florida, I believe, because I don't think actually thought about this. I was like, no, they don't road trip back from Florida. Chewy makes that drive by himself.
True. And I still stop at Buc-ee's.
Just can't have the brisket sandwich.
Cannot.
So I swing into the Buc-ee's and I'm like, I gotta try this brisket sandwich. I mean, Chewy and his wife, Angie, made a deal where the brisket sandwich at Buc-ee's is so good, they're not allowed to have it without each other.
Yes.
So it's got to be very, very good, right?
Yeah.
So I go in, grab the sandwich, and like you tend to do at these sorts of places, I grabbed about 7 other things as well. I got some tahine gummies, the peach rings with tahine. They have a whole smoothie wall.
Yeah.
A whole wall with the smoothie wall. Like if you go to 7-Eleven and you got the 3 or 4 varieties, they had 9 flavors of smoothies, ices, if you will. That was just one glorious element of the Buc-ee's that I saw in Alabama.
I've got more questions about this.
Did you go in the bathroom?
No!
They claim they are, and they are, the most immaculate bathrooms.
Darn
on
it,
the
Chew.
road.
Why didn't you tell me this?
He did.
Unbelievable.
The bathrooms?
Yeah, he
You
mentioned
could
the
eat
bathroom.
the brisket sandwich while backing one out in there. That's how clean it is.
So I got the brisket sandwich. I went and sat in the car. It was like 103 degrees in
Does it
Alabama
come with
that
its own
day.
sauce? Do you put sauce on it?
You get a little sauce
can.
cup. You get a little sauce
Okay.
cup with it, and then extras are 25 cents. So you can put as much sauce on as you want. You just got to pay for the extras. And I sat in the car, and I took a bite, and then I took another bite, and then another bite, and another bite. It was so freaking good.
I told you. Yes.
Chewy was right. Holy.
Thank you,
Chewy
Chris.
was right.
Lance Romance, one of our MCs here, was
Yeah.
driving down. He was there. He's like, what do you got? I said, brisket sandwich. It'll change your life. And he agreed.
I agree. So yesterday I wrap up my shoot. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I got a little time before going to the airport. Guess what I brought?
Oh,
Guess what I
boy.
brought? I brought everybody a brisket sandwich. Catch.
What? You can't eat it.
I can't eat it now, but
What, you can eat it in front of her?
I brought 2.
Oh.
One for you
You're the
and one
best.
for Ange. Because I was like, I can't go back. Thank you. I can't go back with brisket sandwiches. And I brought you guys a sauce too. Look at here's a little cup of sauce.
So
Here's a
there's
little
only
cup
one
of
kind of sauce you don't have. It's just like Buc-ee's sauce, or what is it?
their barbecue's the best. That's
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's all I use now.
Here's the other one. Thank you so that Angie has a little sauce too. And I was like, if I expect Chew to eat the brisket when I bring it back, I got to get one for Ange as well. Now, I want you guys to know, I took very good care of these. I bought one of those ice hot bags, the kind.
Yeah.
So I put those in there, got on the plane, 2 hours home, quick flight home. Put them right in the refrigerator. So you don't have to worry about them hanging around or anything like that. I took good care of these sandwiches
I'd still
for
eat
you.
it anyway.
Says
I mean,
right
it's
here.
worth salmonella. Let me tell you.
Oh no, that says July 30th.
Well,
Used by July 30th at 2:58.
It's
Well,
fine.
but I'm
It's
telling
fine.
you, wait a minute. How can that be? I purchased it yesterday at 3 o'clock.
That's what I'm just saying. That's what it says. It says used by July 30th, 2024, 2:58 p.m.
Yeah, it's a day old. Big deal.
It'll be fine.
So just so you guys know, I brought home 3 others. Gave my husband one. I was like, eat this. He was like, okay, relax. I'll eat the sandwich. I was like, what do you think? He's like, so good.
Oh.
It's unbelievable. So Chewy was right. Holy bleep, Chewy was right. The brisket sandwich from Buc-ee's. Oh, and I changed. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you're... Yeah.
She's all in.
Yeah. So like a recruit who just decided where they were taking their
throw the
talent.
Marquette
No. I mean,
aside.
obviously Marquette is the OG, ride or die.
just-
However, I did just switch to a Buc-ee's hat.
I just got the
Buc-ee's hat
swimsuit
on
the
here.
other day.
It's
I
this
did,
logo.
yes.
It's this logo.
It's my cult.
Over and over
Yes.
and over, right?
We're already planning our road trip to DeForest when that opens up.
Well, that's on delay now.
I know, I heard.
That's on delay. Who knows when that's going to open up?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So Buc-ee's has been trying to get into Wisconsin, and there was going to be one in DeForest. We discussed this when Chewy went through this last time. We're like, oh man, when that thing's open, we got to get a partnership. We got to do a show from there. Well, it's now being delayed because Buc-ee's is trying to convince the state of Wisconsin to move because right now when you go
ramp,
past,
right?
So when you get up by the Dells, 39 and 94 go different directions, right? 39 keeps going north towards Wausau, 94 you're going more west and into Minnesota. And they want to bring that intersection down to the Buc-ee's so they get more traffic.
Sure, that makes sense. I will tell you this, though.
But of course, like, the state of Wisconsin isn't just going to be like, we're going to change the way we do our roads just for Buc-ee.
Tell them it's worth it.
Well, but here's what I would also argue. People are going to go no matter what.
Yeah.
You could have to do a figure 8 off the highway. You could have to do donuts to get there, and people would still go to Buc-ee's. Like this is how I felt when we went out to Hartford, Heartland. I always get them confused. But for a baseball tournament for Chase, okay? We're out there, and I needed to get gas, and there was a generic gas station on the corner, and it was empty. And I'm going, the gas station's empty. Why is that gas station empty? Well, because 300 feet down the road was a Quick Trip. And the Quick Trip was jammed. Every single lane had a car there. Every single spot had a car. That's why the poor old gas station that was on the corner there, try as they might with the inflatable guy with the arms up in the air to get people there, everybody was going to Quick Trip. It would be similar with Buc-ee's. This place was like Costco on a Saturday, jam busy.
How many gas pumps? Was it a big one?
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Because the one I went to had over 100 pumps.
Unbelievable.
And they were packed.
And everybody was so nice.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like that flow of traffic where you're going over here and they're going over here, and there's a bakery, and there was a burrito station, and there was a coffee station where people were putting like the syrups in their own coffee to make their beverages. It was an experience, and I am so thankful, Chew, that you guided me.
You're welcome.
To the Buc-ee's.
Because the places you go to, there's going to be a Buc-ee's. Like Georgia, that's the one we went to. There's like 3 of them right there. You're so lucky.
Yes. And so are you, because now you guys have brisket sandwiches for lunch today. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The ESPN has put out a list of the top college players over the last 2 decades, since the year 2000. We're going to get into that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Join me out at the Wisconsin Country Club. Joined last fall, and I have not regretted it because I love the beautiful golf course. It is challenging. They take great care of it. It is a great place to go and play golf. But maybe you're somebody that has, I like the golf, but what else do you have for the family? Well, they've got pool, tennis, pickleball, themed Sunday fun days out at the pool. And what's great about Wisconsin Country Club is there are no assessments ever, and there are no food and beverage minimums. If you're curious, go ahead and check them out. August 1st, there is an open house out at Wisconsin Country Club on Good Hope Road from 4 until 6:30. Go check it out. See the golf course, see the facilities, and they're continuing to improve the facilities as well. So join me out at the Wisconsin Country Club.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Northbound on the Rock Freeway, just north of Racine Avenue, still dealing with a broken down semi stuck in the right lane. Careful with that. Delays back past Racine Avenue. On westbound 894, backing up out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to Forest Home. And westbound 94, a little bit tight right through the stadium interchange itself. Overall, not looking too bad. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy, hot and humid, a high of 88. Tonight, partly cloudy, muggy with a chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 72. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Everybody knows if it's summer season, it's festival season. And Potawatomi has the winningest one, WinFest. You could make it an awesome August with a share of $500,000. Play with your rewards card for entries. Hourly drawings every Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. $25,000 in cash and prizes each drawing. It's the $500,000 WinFest. Get in on the fun. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at pacebig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Bliss is more.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards golf lessons to become a scratch golfer. Progressive cannot guarantee that you will ever become a scratch golfer. Scratch golfers are really, really good. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, and sure, you could put that money towards lessons, but if you can't hit the broadside of a barn and think you're going to become a scratch golfer, you're delusional. Sorry, just telling it like it is. Savings? Maybe. Scratch golfer? Don't hold your breath. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. It's universally accepted that golf is hard. Progressive cannot guarantee improved performance on the course.
Christopher's Shoot Against Childhood Cancer took place on Friday, July 12th at the Waukesha Gun Club. This amazing day raised over $275,000 for childhood cancer research. Sponsors of Christopher's Shoot at the Waukesha Gun Club included American State Equipment Company, Inc., Ascent Homes, Babcock Solutions, LLC, the Dentist Family Foundation, First American Bank, RJ Underground, Inc., and Old Castle Infrastructure. Thank you to these local businesses for their generosity and hundreds of people who donated to Christopher's Shoot Against Childhood Cancer.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the ring. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The other side of the world, and I'll let you know if I want to come back and coach your little game.
He's Ian Peterman.
Ian Rappaport tweeting yesterday, and I thought this was interesting.
Poor lady.
The Broncos the
That was
last 2
gibberish.
weeks. You guys done?
I got more.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Don't you love it? Don't you love it? No, I ain't happy yet. But I'm way less sad.
Just about a month away from college football. I was just talking to the guys about our trip to Dublin and how we will be there for the Georgia Tech-Florida State game. I am calling them the Georgia Techs, just to make it feel a little more Irish. Gabe, your point was Notre Dame can't play there every year.
They can't play every year. You can't ask them to go to Ireland every year.
But at least should have an O in it. Like Ohio State. That I could make it work, right? Like Oklahoma. I could make those work with the Irish. Right? Don't blink me. I don't like it when you do the blink thing. Speaking of college football, guys, ESPN put out a list this week of the best college football players since the year 2000. So of the 21st century. College football's top 25 players of the 21st century. So you guys... Yes, that is exactly the music I was hoping for. Chris Larson holding it down back there. There are 2 Wisconsin Badgers on this list. So, guys, I'm going to make this easy for you. Give me the 2 Wisconsin Badgers who are on ESPN's top 25 college football players of the 21st century.
Joe Thomas is one of them.
He is. He is number 12 on this list.
Okay.
Who would be the other one?
All right, so I think the options for the other one.
I know. Yeah, I got the other one.
Do you?
The other one's easy.
Okay.
JJ.
21st century. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem was JJ.
This is just college football.
I was about to say.
Not their career in the pros.
And while JJ had a good Wisconsin career, was a top 10 pick, he wasn't like a dominant, award winner.
But your answer gave me pause because I was like, wait, is that the nickname of this player? The player is Gabe?
Well, is it? Well, so is it? So I thought JJ would be on my short list. Russell Wilson had one really good year, but probably not good enough to make the list. So it would come down to probably somebody like Melvin Gordon.
Or a guy who we talked about should have been in New York for the Heisman, but was not invited to New York recently within the last 5 years.
Oh, he's not top 25.
Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is number 25 on this list. And I will read to you what ESPN said about Jonathan Taylor.
I think Melvin was a better Wisconsin running back.
Yeah, he was
than
pretty
Jonathan
damn good.
Taylor, yeah.
It says 2018 and 2019 Doak Walker Award winner, 2018 and 2019 unanimous All-American, 3-time first-team All-Big Ten, 6,174 career rushing yards, 50 touchdowns, number 4 all-time, number 2 in the Big Ten, 407 career receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns. That was their explanation for why Jonathan Taylor is number 25 on the list. So rather than, and look, I think it's going to be too hard for you guys to try to nail every one of these picks. So I thought we could do the quarterbacks. Do you think you could name the 8 quarterbacks for college football, the best quarterbacks, according to ESPN, in college football since the year 2000?
Well, number 1 overall has to be Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow is number 6 on the list.
He should be 1.
Yeah, that's
You win
surprising.
2 Heismans.
Well, he
should
didn't
be
win. He won 1 Heisman.
Yeah, but he should have won.
Little revisionist history
So
happening
Tebow's
here.
6 on the list. Where is he quarterback-wise?
4th quarterback. There are 3 quarterbacks on this list above Tim Tebow. And I agree with all of them. I agree with all. You will too.
outrageous.
No, I don't think so. Wait until you see who they are. Again, this is based on the accomplishments and success they had in college.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is on the list. He is number 18 overall, the 7th quarterback on this list. Kyler Murray, of course, who was at Texas A&M and finished his career at Oklahoma.
Matt Leinart?
Not on this list.
That Tua.
Not on this list.
He won
Trying to think
Heisman,
it.
though, didn't he?
No.
He never won it?
No. All of his other teammates did.
But I think if you think about Heisman Trophy winners, you will find yourself in good company.
Baker?
Baker Mayfield is the number 1 quarterback on this list
terrible.
for his success at
that's
Texas Tech. The
ridiculous.
2017 Heisman Trophy winner, the 2017 Maxwell Award winner, the Walker Camp Award, Davey O'Brien Award, Bullsworth Trophy. That was for the best walk-on. If you remember, Baker started his career as a walk-on. In 3 seasons at Oklahoma and a brief cameo as a true freshman walk-on starter, Mayfield put together the best combination of high-volume passing and high-level success we've seen.
Vince Young.
Vince Young is number 3 on the list. He is 4th overall. So just for clarification's sake, 1 went to Ndamukong Suh from Nebraska as the most...
Terrible. It's terrible.
As the most impactful player of the 21st century.
He didn't win a Heisman.
But nobody wins Heismans that doesn't play the quarterback position.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah, you got one. Like, so you're putting together a list.
You
and
also want to mention Desmond Howard.
Didn't win the most important award in college football.
Tebow's ridiculous.
Is the most impactful.
Yes,
like
Tebow's.
Tebow's better than Baker in
Yes.
college. Tebow was better than Vince Young in college.
It says here, I realize we don't give Heisman trophies to defensive players, but it is utterly inexcusable that he did not win the Heisman that year. That would have been 2009, by the way. He was the best player of the 2000s and one of the best to ever do it. So 2, 3, and 4 are quarterbacks.
Trevor Lawrence.
Not on this list.
For college?
Not on this list. There is another Clemson quarterback on this list.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, he who shall not be named, but he is
Air
number.
Humper.
Who was better? Who was better in college?
Deshaun.
He was really good. He's outrageous.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th quarterback on this list. So you guys have gotten Vince Young. You guys have gotten Tim Tebow. You guys have gotten Deshaun Watson. You guys have gotten Kyler Murray.
And Baker.
So
and
how many
Baker number 1.
quarterbacks
I don't think you guessed Vince Young, did you?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you
guess
did.
Vince Young.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many quarterbacks are left?
1.
We've got 3.
2.
Okay.
3.
Dak?
Not on the list.
One of them
Johnny Football?
One of them is a former
that's a
teammate.
good guess.
Okay,
I
One of them is a
forgot
former
about him.
teammate, one of our teammates.
Yes.
A quarterback?
Yep.
Come on.
One of them is a former teammate of one of our teammates currently.
This is a really good clue because
former teammate of one of our teammates.
So one of our teammates who played professional football. The list is not that long, Chew.
I'm confused because I want to go Tausch, but
no. How about the afternoon show?
Think about the afternoon.
Brad Nortman.
Yeah.
Who was his quarterback?
I mean, so Russ is on the list?
No.
He's the only,
whoever it is. He was a teammate of a teammate. So he didn't play at Wisconsin. He played in the pros with him.
This is fun. Watching the
Jacksonville,
wheels.
Carolina?
What's his name?
Yeah, you're close. You're close.
He's terrible.
So Carolina.
They should cut him already.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton is number 2 on the list.
The guy that's there now.
Of quarterbacks, number 3 overall.
Who's
Cam
there?
Newton.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young.
It's not his fault that an old, washed up
Cam
Adam
should
Thielen's
be
his
higher.
best receiver.
Cam's number 2. He's number 3 on the list.
He shouldn't be higher than
Cam should be 2 behind Tebow.
Yes. 2 quarterbacks left.
2 quarterbacks left, guys. You got this. One of them, both of them are in the league now. Both of them are in the AFC, if that helps. Quarterbacks.
Oh, Lamar.
Lamar is on the list. He is number 20 on the list.
Also outrageous.
He won a Heisman too, right?
Yeah,
He did. He is
For a
the
bad team.
8th
That's how good he
quarterback
was.
on this list.
So one more.
One more.
ACC, you said?
AFC, what?
Oh, I thought she said.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of ACC quarterbacks on this list, too. No.
Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is number 9 overall. Obviously won the title at LSU.
Yeah.
He is the 5th quarterback on this list. So just to recap the quarterbacks, the best quarterbacks in college football of the 21st century, you got Baker Mayfield number 1, you got Cam Newton number 2, Vince Young number 3, Tim Tebow number 4, Joe Burrow number 5, Deshaun Watson number 6, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson 7 and 8. So you would make the argument, Gabe, that Tebow should be higher on this list?
Tebow should be number 1 overall.
He's just he was such a cult hero. Like he's obviously had a lot of success since then on television. There's a part of me that feels like Tebow was exceptional, but some of it was going from being this unheralded, like all of the drama that we saw with the Florida team. And then there was the game where he had the blood on him. And then there was the game where he made the speech, like those sort of things. I feel like, Larson, what do you say? To me, that amplified the mythology of Tim Tebow. Is that fair?
I would put Tebow at number 1 as well, just because he was a kid that lived up to his billing as a top recruit, as the golden child quarterback, where Baker Mayfield was a walk-on who succeeded very well. But Tebow was actually a superstar in high school that lived up to being a superstar in college. Won a Heisman, probably should have won a second Heisman.
And
won
2
a
national championships.
Two
national championships.
He won 2 natties. Like everywhere else, we care about national championships. We care about winning it all. But apparently on this list, we don't give a rip.
Like Vince Young, national championship, and Heisman.
I would put Young behind Tebow as number 2. Then I would put Burrow, and then I would put Cam Newton.
I might put Cam in front of Burrow, though. Cam was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
For one season.
Yeah.
Was it one season?
He was one season.
But he was so dominant.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
he
for
was
that one
losing
season-
to Alabama by what, 20-something?
Yeah.
In Alabama?
Yep.
And
But
came
for
back
that
and
one
beat him.
season to go ahead of Tebow, who had a long, one of the most prolific college careers ever.
And I agree with Sue as number 1. I would put Reggie Bush number 2.
I would.
Reggie Bush, number 7 on the list
He
overall.
should be higher. He was legit.
Dominican shouldn't be number 1 overall.
But
Tebow should be number
Leinart
1.
had...
Oh, Leinart had one Heisman.
Go back and watch that 2009 Big 12 championship game against Texas. And tell
Yeah,
me
I mean, they're talking
Sue
about
should
how
be number
hard
1.
he hit, how he was just a wrecking ball, and
Yeah,
people
cool.
didn't want to.
And he won a national championship too, right? So he won a Heisman.
No.
He won multiple national championships. At the most important position in football, right? Like this one,
How many of those guys, though, how many of those guys didn't live up to their billing?
In the NFL?
In the NFL. Read just the first 10, Jen.
Do you want 10 all players or 10
No,
quarterbacks?
give me the first 10.
Okay, so Ndamukong Suh is number 1
Didn't
on
live
their
up
list.
to his billing in
Baker,
the NFL.
Baker
no,
Mayfield.
he did not. Who?
Yeah, he did. I agree. He did.
No.
Yes,
Baker
terrifying.
Mayfield?
Baker's number 2.
Not as a number
Cam
1 pick
Newton,
overall.
number 3.
Nope.
He did.
Vince Young, number 4.
He won an MVP. I don't know what else you want from a guy. He won an MVP.
I want 2. Vince Young, no.
Vince Young, no, I would agree with.
Ed Reed is number 5 on the list.
No way he should be number 5.
You think that's too high for Ed Reed?
Way too high for Ed Reed.
Well,
for
also,
college.
But also, Chewy's not a big fan of safeties, just generally speaking.
Yeah, you hit me in the head a lot.
Tebow was number 6 on the list.
Definitely not.
Reggie Bush, number 7.
Did not.
Bryant McKinney, number 8.
Replace Joe Thomas with Brian McKinney at number 8.
Ooh, now there's a controversial take. Move Joe Thomas up from number 12 to number 8.
Yep.
And Joe Thomas would have, Joe Thomas obviously lived up.
I know.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
If they were taking into account the
If you're a Hall of Famer.
professional career.
No, he didn't live up.
Joe Burrow, number 9.
He's lived up to it so far.
He will, yes.
I could make the argument incomplete, and Larry Fitzgerald, number 10.
Yeah,
another skill position player.
Another Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
One player who wasn't on the top 25 list, who I think should have been on there, Manti Te'o. If you go back and look at Teo's 2020 season, it rivals 2009 Sue's season. He swept all the hardware he
that's
could
a very good
possibly
point.
win, finished second in the Heisman voting, and you got players like Luke Kuechly and Derek Johnson who got honorable mention on this list.
That's a great
Not
point.
Te'o.
Robert Griffin III also got an honorable mention. Trevor Lawrence did get honorable mention on this list. Marcus Mariota got honorable mention, and Christian McCaffrey got honorable mention as well as far as guys. Calvin Johnson got honorable mention for his 2 years at Georgia Tech.
It's not his fault Georgia Tech doesn't throw the football.
Yeah, I mean, that's a guy who obviously was way more successful in the league than he was in college football.
Because he was a big physical freak, and they never threw him the ball at Texas Tech because they just don't.
All right, we got to take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to, including the trade deadline in Major League Baseball came and went. Did the Brewers do enough to get them to a long playoff run? We'll discuss. Bye.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN. All the big plays.
Crushed. Left field. Way back. Gone.
Every single week.
Here's the pitch from Abreu. Oh, he drilled him on the shoulder, and the benches are starting to clear.
Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio happens right here.
In there. And that does it. History in the desert.
Tune in for baseball's biggest matchups here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming on the Wisconsin On Demand app.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at LowTUSA.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust for Road America. The best place in Elkhart Lake is America's National Park of Speed. Make the most out of your summer at Road America. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road course that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Up next is the IMSA Sports Car Weekend, August 1st through the 4th. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Check out the newest Lady Jane's in Oak Creek on Howell Ave, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Ask for Haley. I will make you look and feel great. Take advantage of our grand opening special. Haircuts are just $20. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Ave, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
A freaking catapult attached to his right hip. Like, I just made that up. A catapult.
That was good.
I kind of liked it. I was rolling with it, Rob.
Like a slingshot? Let's figure this out.
I'm calling him old catapult leg from here on out.
On 94.5 ESPN.
So, Gabe said he's going to eat the brisket for breakfast this morning.
Why not?
So, I guess.
Gotta see what this hype is. You gotta see what this hype's all about.
All right, he is opening up the brisket.
You gotta heat it up.
Lovingly wrapped.
Yeah, it's a little chilly. Should I go throw it in the microwave, nuke it?
Nuke it? You're going to take the bun off, right? When you throw a burger or something in the microwave, I take the bun off.
I know, but
the bun's going to become, the bun's kind of sticking to it.
You could put it in a blender and
look,
drink
he
it.
wants to take a bite so bad. He's like, he's going to eat it. Now, I don't know if he needs the sauce. There's a part of me that thinks cold. Hold on.
There's a little sauce on there.
Yeah.
All right, he's thinking.
I don't know if you need more sauce. That was really good.
I know! It's so good! I can't even believe it.
You got to heat it up, though, Gabe.
I don't know. Like cold barbecue, the flavor kind of develops a little bit, too.
I'm like over here salivating watching Gabe eat this brisket sandwich from Buc-ee's. I'm like such a proud little parent right now, too, because I'm so happy that everybody else, like Chewy, again, he was talking about how good it was. I mean, to the point that your wife.
This is like warm.
Oh, my God.
Fresh. Try fresh.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that you and your wife are not allowed to enjoy a Buc-ee sandwich without each other, I thought you guys were being dramatic. I thought you were overreacting.
My mouth is watering.
I know.
Yes.
And so I was very excited to enjoy it.
What happens if you eat it now and then she eats it later?
She'll chop my
brisket off.
Yes.
So you have to be together?
Yeah. That's the rule. Now, there was an argument because I had a brisket sandwich at some other place. It didn't matter. It was very average.
And that was okay.
And she's like, we're not. And I'm like, no, the rule is specifically Buc-ee's. Yes.
Wait, so you have to eat it in front of her?
Yeah. She has to be there.
Well, what if you bring her one?
Then we're fine.
So that's what I'm saying. You could eat that now,
No,
and then
we
you
gotta
bring
eat
that
it at the same time. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're telling me, whenever this one in DeForest opens, even if it's years from now, we go and we do a show from there, you can't eat one there, or you have to bring her with.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like cheating, but it's like I looked at a girl's butt, and she found out about it.
That's bad news for you.
Yes.
That's bad news for you.
So I'm just going to play it safe,
I wonder
even though my mouth is watering.
Anything else out there? Is there, I don't have anything with my husband, Dario, where it's like, hey, you're not allowed to enjoy this without me. Now, he sometimes gets annoyed when I go to Home Goods without him. I take a little trip to Home Goods. He's like, we're supposed to do that together.
Is that because he wants to keep you in check while you're at Home Goods?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like I've got the credit card.
Okay.
I feel like it's like he enjoys walking around Home Goods and looking at the stuff.
So I was very nervous about eating the sandwich because the last time I feel something was hyped up like this was Chick-fil-A. But I was a latecomer
Yeah.
to Chick-fil-A, didn't have it until 2013. And like Chick-fil-A wasn't readily available like it is now. But oh man, you got to have Chick-fil-A. You got to have Chick-fil-A. It's like, it's a chicken sandwich, man. Like, and I ate it. Don't get me wrong.
Fine.
It's good, but it's like, oh my God, I can't. What have I been missing out on? Like, so I was a little nervous that this was getting hyped up too much.
And?
It's just a little. No, it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
I mean, look, I'm wearing the hat. Like
Yeah.
I am hardcore on the Buc-ee's bandwagon. How much money did you say that they need for that ramp so that it can go straight to Buc-ee's? Like
$6.9 million.
Yeah, well, I'll write the check.
It'd be worth it.
Just want to make it happen.
Give the taxpayers free Buc-ee's brisket sandwiches for a year, and they're getting the better end of
Not
the deal.
even one. You come
Yeah.
in, you get one free Buc-ee's brisket sandwich, and people will be like, "Oh, what is it? 25 cents on my 25 cents on the taxes? It's
Yeah,
fine. It's
have
fine."
it.
All right, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, but we roll on right after this. Stick around.
Northbound 894, looks like we've got an issue just north of Greenfield Avenue. They're calling it an incident off on the left shoulder. Looks like it's either a crash or a broken down motorcycle off on that left shoulder. Northbound on the Rock Freeway, just north of Racine Avenue, we still have that right lane blocked with that semi that's broken down. We got backups stretching almost back to Highway 164 now. And then on westbound 94, we've got backups basically out of the Marquette all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. With the eastbound side, a crash just at the end of the ramp from 68th Street, and it's got the left lane blocked there, so backups back into the zoo. Traffic is brought to you by 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Have unwanted clutter or junk? Go to 2meninajuncktruck.com for a free, no-obligation estimate. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, hot and humid, a high of 88. Tonight, partly cloudy and muggy, a chance for thunderstorms later on, a low of 72. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years. And for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Bliss is more.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Preston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
This place alone, being the Green Bay Packers quarterback and all the great QB play that's been here.
It is an outstanding get by Matt LaFleur and by Brian Gutekunst, their general manager.
I think all along, I mean, you know, he made so many big plays early on. He had so many wow throws. It just was the consistency.
The Green Bay Packers can have more success as a team with Jordan Love than they did under Brett Favre or with Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think you'll see a difference in the person. I don't think we would do something like that if we felt that way.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I think this is a home run for them to be able to get this contract done.
Definitely just goes to show, you know, the Packers putting their trust and their faith in me for the next 4 years. And
his teammates really certainly respect him. They respect the man. They respect the work he puts in.
Jordan Love is going to have this team in position, in my opinion, year after year after year.
It's something that I'm focused on earning every day and going out and putting my best foot forward for them, for the team, for the organization, and everybody chasing that goal of winning a Super Bowl.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
I just saw a list on Get Up on the television above us. Dan Orlovsky's top quarterbacks in the NFC. His top quarterback in the NFC was not Jordan Love. It was Matthew Stafford. Which makes sense. Matthew Stafford had a great year last year. The second quarterback in the NFC, according to Dan Orlovsky, is in fact the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love. And Chris Carlin was on his show earlier this week talking about what the Jordan Love signing means for the Green Bay Packers. Take a listen to how highly Carlin feels about Jordan Love.
Actually look more at where they are at every other position right now. I personally am going to pick the Packers to be, I'm not convinced yet I'm picking them to go to the Super Bowl, but they're at least in the NFC Championship game this year.
Chew, do you agree?
I think they have a chance. They've got a shot. There's some pretty good teams in the NFC, though. I think that realistically, I mean, obviously, realistically, if you have a shot to go to the Super Bowl, but I think NFC Championship, I would be happy with this year. I don't know if anything short I would still be happy with.
Getting to the NFC Championship or winning the NFC Championship?
Getting
to.
Well,
because that would be a step, right? We always talk about steps to success.
Yeah.
That would be a step forward from their performance last year with Jordan Love under center. Gabe, who is, in your opinion, the biggest competition to the Packers being in the NFC Championship game, winning the NFC Championship game?
Lions, Niners, Eagles.
So the Lions, I love that people are throwing the Lions in there because that, of course, is in part because of what they did last year. They signed all of these guys in the offseason. They obviously feel like they have a championship team, a championship window. I actually like that they play in the Packers division because I feel like you're going to get a real good sense, if you're the Green Bay Packers, of who the Detroit Lions are this year. And I feel like that gives you a leg up over some of the other teams in the NFC that you don't see as often, right? The idea, Gabe, that you can play the Lions 3 times this season, twice in the regular season, once potentially in the postseason, I think bodes well for a team. Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, because the other team I mentioned, it depends upon when you're playing them, how healthy they are, because the Packers play the Eagles right away. And I think the Eagles are going to have a bounce-back year. Everybody just wants to discard them because of the way their season ended. There's too much talent on that roster for them not to be a team that's in the postseason again. I think with all the drama in Dallas, they end up winning their division, and they're going to be one of the dominant teams. But the Packers play them week 1.
Yeah, it'll be much different than playing in the playoffs.
It's just so different.
And they don't have the luxury of a home field advantage, right? Like you can talk about how the Packers play well at Lambeau. Like you don't have that week.
No, and it's a neutral site.
Right.
So there's just so many other things that
travel.
go into it.
And there's a couple teams that are Don't sleep on the Falcons. Don't sleep on the Falcons. Don't. I mean, and a lot of people like
just
the Rams.
because of Cousins? You like Cousins?
I'm going to tell you.
Like
I'm going to tell you.
Their
talent?
offense?
I'm going to tell you exactly how this season goes for the Atlanta Falcons.
Do they win the division?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
They're going to win that division. They might even win 10 or 11 games.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen in their first playoff
They'll
game?
lose, yeah.
Kirk Cousins isn't going to play great, and they're going to lose their first playoff
But they have
game.
a lot of talent.
Sure. But they're not winning a playoff game this year.
Okay, so now you're eliminating the Falcons from a deep
Rams,
playoff run, apparently.
a lot of people like the Rams.
My problem with the Rams is you just lost a generational
in Aaron
talent
Donald
on defense.
He's not.
But, okay, he's not as good as Reggie White, but you don't have to be as good as Reggie to be a generational
Don't
talent.
think he's not showing up. Frank ran into his father-in-law, who used to coach receivers for us in Green Bay. Okay, so I'm just saying.
Do you think he's going to play again?
Look, if I didn't have to go to training camp because I was one of the best, I'm waiting until yeah, sure, $30 million.
He's going to Roger Clemens this thing?
How about 29?
I'll give you a deal.
Yeah, because that's never happened in the NFL.
So you're telling me.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just reporting.
This is breaking news here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Aaron Donald will actually play.
I'm saying
for
it
the Rams
would not shock me.
in 2024.
It feels a little Ferris Buellery, doesn't it? Like he heard from Frank, who heard from this guy who happens to be this guy, and then you finally get to the source.
What's the Ferris Bueller?
You know, at the beginning of the movie when he's sick. Well, it goes throughout the movie. It's a thread throughout the movie, but it's like, I heard that that Ferris.
He'll keep calling me. He'll keep calling me. I'll go.
That Ferris, he threw up at 31 Flavors or whatever last night. That's what this feels like. That's what this feels like to me. Now,
what
you
do you
talk
think
to this
about?
guy who
Hold
talked to
on.
this
Let's
guy.
talk another potential sleeper. You know where I'm going?
No,
Chicago?
I never know where you're going.
Yes, Gabe just knew. And they just signed DJ Moore to a monster deal.
Absolutely enormous deal. I think I saw a graphic that said that he is the first player in NFL history to have guaranteed money every year of his time in the league.
I mean, what's your feeling?
Oh, the Bears are very easy to figure out. Very easy. That is a great roster.
Nostragabus over here between the Falcons, and you're telling us what's going to happen with the Bears.
I don't know what's going to happen with the Bears, but the Bears roster is very good. Like, they have all those offensive weapons. That defense, after they made the trade last year for Sweat, was fantastic. I mean, they held the Packers to 17 points in that season finale. I didn't feel like they had a chance because their offense just couldn't score points, but they held a Packers offense that was rolling to 17 points. It all comes down to Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams is average, that's a playoff team.
I'm not worried about the Bears from the standpoint of going to the NFC Championship game. I'm worried about the standpoint of them beating the Packers one time in the regular season. Because we all know when it comes playoff times, matchups are huge, right? And one game is going to separate a team getting the bye and not getting the bye. And if you're 2 games below that or 3 games below that, then in the first round, maybe you're playing Philadelphia or playing someone you don't want to play. That's the standpoint I'm looking at. Can they go 1-1 against the Packers?
It's possible because that roster, again, with terrible quarterback play, they held the Packers to 17 points. And if they get average quarterback play, they can, they can hang.
I'm not buying Eberflus.
I'm
not buying it.
Also
I'm not
fair.
either.
Like, again, that roster's good. That it's so good that even if he's bad, they're going to be around
They're going to
500.
stumble into a win or two in spite of him.
Well, they won 7 games last year.
That's a very good point.
Terrible. They won 7 games last year, and their quarterback play was awful.
Yeah.
Terrible. So, they're going to be around 500 again.
But there's a part of me, guys, that still feels like the Packers are just a better team. Even though they've made all these upgrades, even though they've got the number 1 overall pick, even though the Packers are still a better team.
There's only one spot they're definitively, or I guess 2 if we were just talking about the roster and the players. There's only one spot the Packers are definitively better than the Chicago Bears had. Fortunately for the Packers, it's the most important position. It's quarterback. Because I like the Bears wide receiver room a lot more than I like the Packers. Their tight ends are great. Offensive line's good.
Defense is good.
That defense is light years ahead of what the Packers are.
And if you want more Bears fix this morning, Get Up seems to be spending the entire day in Chicago. So you can hear from Dan Graziano, who is standing in front of the wall at Hallis Hall this morning. Chewy, you've mentioned other teams that you feel like could give the Packers a run for their money. There's something about the way this team is built, the way that Matt LaFleur runs things. Last year was a good example, right? Even when there were clunkers and even when we were like, oh, they should have won that game. They didn't win that game. Oh, Jordan is still going through the learning process. That was a bumpy road there. There's a part of me that feels like this team will win more games. This team will be in a position. And part of it is just because I just think they can. I don't have a ton of statistical information to give you that says that this team is better, but for whatever reason, year in and year out, the Green Bay Packers are always in the conversation, and I feel like this year they are better than they have been any of those years when they have been, quote unquote, in the conversation.
Yeah, but the schedule's a lot tougher. It's a lot tougher. Eagles, they can lose. Colts, they could lose. They could lose to the Colts. They're not losing to the Titans. They're beating Vikings twice. They could lose to the Rams. Not losing to the Cardinals. They can lose to the Texans. They can lose to the Jaguars. They're going to lose to the Lions. They could lose to the Bears. They could lose to the Niners. They could lose to the Dolphins.
No.
They could lose to the Lions again. Is that at Seattle? At Seattle. They could lose that game.
According to Sharp Football Analysis, the Packers have the 19th toughest schedule in the league.
Well, yes.
I'm just telling you what the numbers say.
No, I know.
They have the 19th toughest schedule in the league. That bodes well for this team, for this season.
I'm just saying there's a lot of games.
What's that? What's that based on?
There's a lot of could loses, which scares you. Right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to see how many games they have against playoff teams from last year, and it's up there.
Let's not pretend we know what the defense is. Let's not
because
pretend.
we don't.
Let's not do that again this year, please. Can we not do that again this year?
Poop Kool-Aid?
Yes.
And even if they have a really good first game, let's not declare we have a defense, Aaron Rodgers.
Let's not do that again. We have no idea. We think it's going to be better. We hope it's going to be better.
Tough to be worse.
I think it's going to be better, but let's not sit there and go, they're going to be 7th in the league. Joe Barry's going to be aggressive. Watch him be number 1 against the run in Miami last year. Now that would make me laugh. That would really make me laugh.
I would hate life so much if he somehow leads a defense that is number 1 against the rush.
I'm going to keep reading through this article here on Sharp Football Analysis to see what they used as their metric for figuring out the strength of schedule in the NFL this year. But as mentioned, according to them, the Packers have the 19th strongest schedule in 2024. That bodes well. Again, does it start out tough against Philadelphia on the road in Brazil? Yeah, it does. But if they lose that game, the season's not over. I'm not sitting here throwing in the towel if they lose that game to Jalen Hurts and company.
There's a stretch there, though, that's going to be like, hold your left one.
Boob?
I'm telling you.
What about the right one?
I assume you just leave it about. Leave him hanging. Sorry,
that just
buddy.
gets exposed.
Yeah. And how did you go with left versus right? I mean,
But it's Texans.
I don't want to lose the right one.
It's Texans, Jaguars, Lions, Bears, 49ers, Dolphins, Lions.
so you're talking about the
And then you're
first of all,
at Seattle after that.
And then at
exactly.
Seattle.
For me, that stretch starts 49ers. The 49ers, the Dolphins, and the Lions.
Jaguars are good. Texans are good. Lions are good. Bears, we have no idea. Niners are good. Dolphins, hell of an offense. Lions, and that's
It's the season.
That's your season right there.
How you do in that stretch?
I want to find someone who is as devoted to me as you are to Doug Peterson. Because you just love him so much.
I know.
Here's the problem. His love of Doug is rubbed off on me. And like every time I'm on national, I'm like, man, the Jaguars, man. Doug Peterson's a good coach. You just got to trust me. Doug's a great coach. Because of you.
Yes. Well, he won a Super Bowl.
It's true.
He beat Bellyache.
With Nick Foles.
Yes.
You know what? He is a great coach, Jen. I don't know why you're poo-pooing Doug Peterson right now. Our guy.
There's a lot of poo-poo talk in this conversation between the poop Kool-Aid and the poo-pooing of Doug Peterson. We got to take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Sophia Minnaert is coming up at the bottom of the hour, so we will absolutely talk about those Milwaukee Brewers. And did they do enough by the trade deadline to make you confident that this team can make a deep playoff run? We'll get into that as the show rolls on right for this.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Look, you could be dealing with low testosterone, not even know it. It's what happened to me. Tired, groggy, just don't feel like yourself. You're probably thinking, okay, getting a little bit older. This is just how it goes. But it doesn't have to go that way because Mentality can help you get your testosterone levels back where they need to be, and you can be feeling better than ever. Go to lowtusa.com. That's their website. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments at lowtusa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We do still have some delays out there. Eastbound 94 going to be backed up from about 92nd Street all the way through to about Mitchell Boulevard. We got broken down, actually a crash that is off on the left shoulder right at the end of the 68th Street on-ramp. Westbound 94 slowing from 16th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes through the zoo all the way out into Waukesha County. Southbound on 43 slowing down from before Hampton Avenue to Keefe. Northbound slow from Fond du Lac up to Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy, hot and humid, a high of 88. Tonight, partly cloudy, muggy, a chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 72. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel. Join myself and Stephen Watson every Tuesday night at 6 here on 94.5 ESPN for On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips. Each and every Tuesday, Steven and I are going to give you the latest in Wisconsin golf, sprinkle in some of the latest in our own golf games, plus talk about professional golf. Get your golf fix each and every Tuesday night at 6 with On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips, right here on 94.5 ESPN, or listen back to the show with Wisconsin On Demand.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Finally, warmer weather, green grass, birds chirping. Don't spend your weekend surrounded by all that junk. Get your free, no obligation, same day estimate from Two Men and a Junk Truck. You'll restore your sanity and reclaim your space when Two Men and a Junk Truck pulls in your driveway. Visit twomenandajuncktruck.com for your free, no obligation estimate today.
Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
College volleyball is coming to the Cream City. The Women's College Volleyball Showcase at Pfizer Forum happens September 1st and 2nd, and it features women's college volleyball powerhouse Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball. It'll be a Labor Day weekend to remember as 4 of the top programs in the nation compete. Wisconsin, Texas, Minnesota, and Stanford all battling it out. You do not want to miss out. The fun starts September 1st with a national semifinal rematch between Wisconsin and Texas. Get your tickets now to the Women's College Volleyball Showcase at Ticketmaster.com.
Tired of looking at dusty, dirty, and cracked garage floors? Hi, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I'm here to tell you how you can get a fresh new look with Floor Shield by Showtime Floors. Using a state-of-the-art coating 4 times stronger than traditional epoxy, it's tough enough to be used in military bases and airports. Floor Shield is certified as an anti-slip floor. It's also eco-friendly, all while being UV stable, and my favorite part, easy to clean. Contact Showtime Floors today and mention ESPN for 10% off. ShowtimeFloors.com.
Do you have a car, boat, ATV, or motorcycle taking up space in storage or your garage? Homer here, asking you to consider donating it to Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a local faith-based nonprofit organization dedicated to inspiring and equipping at-risk youth and their families. They need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping troubled youths transform their lives. Visit rawhide.org/donate and learn how you can help today.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You can answer the question.
What's the question?
Can the Packers win without Aaron Jones on Sunday?
Yes. Will you stop? You know what he is? He's like the little devil on the shoulder.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you love sports betting, you got to make your way to the Sportsbook at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. It has everything a sports fanatic could want and more. And as the games are going on, guys, this is a perfect time to get over to the Sportsbook. You can watch the action and even make some bets on what is happening over in Paris. They've made everything easy, guys. They've got that new restaurant, seating for over 200 people, the broadcast booth, the first-class bar. It is a new era of sports betting at Potawatomi. It is time for you to get in on the action.
Bueller?
He's sick. My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid is going with the girl who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night. I guess it's pretty serious.
There you go, Chew.
That's you.
Is that an underrated movie? I think it is.
Oh, I don't think it's underrated.
I think it's
at all.
properly rated, and I think it's rated very highly.
I agree.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think they played enough on TV.
Ooh.
That's possible, I guess.
Yeah.
Too much Shawshank.
That and...
The other thing I see all the time are like the Lord of the Rings movies. I feel like there's always a Lord of the Rings movie on somewhere. The Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings, those are on, and I'm like, ugh.
There's a new one coming out. I just saw the trailer for it.
We did last night too.
Yeah.
My girls go, are we going to watch that? I go, well, your daddy will.
Well, is that for this? Because there's an Amazon Prime series.
I mean, I thought it was House of Dragon, and they said Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so it might have been for the Prime series, because I think
Yeah.
season 2 for Lord of the Rings Prime series is coming out soon.
Which reminds me, guys, did you guys see this morning that Anna and Sportsman, they were talking about the best TV shows from when you were a kid, rattling off the things that you watched. When we were kids, we watched that whole Friday night lineup. I don't know if it was at ABC that had the Friday night lineup,
Yeah,
and
TGIF.
it was like Family Matters and Full House,
Step by step.
Step by Step, which by the way was supposed to take place up in Port Washington. Right?
Yeah.
But we were like, what? There's no amusement park in Port Washington. Those were the television shows that we watched. I was a huge fan of Perfect Strangers. Anybody ever see Perfect Strangers?
I have, yes. Belky Bataka Mule.
Yes. Don't be ridiculous.
Cousin Larry.
What did you watch when you were a kid, Gabe?
Oh, Boy Meets World is on that list.
Oh, yeah.
Boy Meets World is fantastic. If we're talking about the non-cartoon realm, like if we're getting, you're a little bit older, just
Like,
past
how
the
old
cartoons.
are you watching this?
How old am I when I'm watching
Yeah.
Boy Meets World? Probably 9, 10, 11.
Oh, God. See, I started in black and white. Leave It to Beaver, My Three Sons. And we got 8 is Enough, which was in colors. That was kind of a treat.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, that was colored. I still watch that, and I don't know
Andy
why.
Griffith show.
Andy Griffith?
I
Yeah.
Love Lucy. What else were you watching over there?
The Honeymooners.
Right to the
Good.
moon.
Archie Bunker.
Oh,
Fish.
So my dad watched, what was that show called, Archie Bunker?
The All in the Family.
All in the Family.
Yeah.
Those were the days. My dad used to watch that when we were kids. I also was a big fan of the Wonder Years.
Love the Wonder Years.
Kevin Arnold.
Yep.
Winnie Cooper.
Paul Pfeiffer.
Paul Pfeiffer. Those are great.
Yeah.
I thought that's what high school and stuff would be. Turns out when it's not the same decade.
Tough to repeat that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not the same.
Why isn't my childhood like Kevin Arnold? I'm like, well, there was a war going on also. Jeez. What else? What about you, Larson? What did you watch when you were a kid? What were your go-to TV
Saved by
shows?
the Bell.
That good show.
Yeah, Married to Children I watched a lot.
Oh, me too.
Parker Lewis Can't Lose was a good one as well.
What is Parker Lewis Can't Lose?
It was sort of like a high school show as well. It's sort of like Saved by the Bell, sort of like that. It was usually on like Sundays, I
What
think.
was the one with Scott Baio?
Oh, Charles in Charge?
Charles in Charge.
Oh, yeah. I'd forgotten all about Charles in Charge.
Yeah.
All of those shows had great jingles. Charles in charge of our days and right? Is that
What was, the one,
yeah.
what was the one with the twins?
Family? Wait,
No.
Full House?
Sister?
Oh,
No.
Sister?
Full
No.
House.
Full House.
But they weren't twins on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
were
they just
twins that played the one character.
Oh, really?
Mary, Kate, and Ashley Olsen played one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Obviously, you didn't
Why?
watch the show.
No.
Well, because when they came on the show, like the actor was,
Yeah.
Real little.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they just would rotate the kid in and out.
I had, what you talking about, Willis? I don't know.
Different Strokes?
So that's
Different Strokes.
That's another
Happy
great
Days?
song.
Happy Days?
There's
Laverne
another
and
great
Shirley?
song. Are we seeing that the
Webster?
ones that have imprinted themselves on our brains, the ones that have kind of planted a seed, all have the jingles? That was a thing. The jingles were
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, because now you just skip over it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Skip intro.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know. You could pay me $1 million and I could tell you what the first 10 seconds of the Suits open is, but anything after that, I don't know. I don't know.
Skip recap.
I remember we used to
Skip open.
watch game shows. I don't know if you guys did, but back in the day.
Oh, game shows, I think, for like network TV, because they do Celebrity Jeopardy and Celebrity Family Feud. And
Well, and even beyond that, The Wall and the Floor. They've got all of these, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? They've all, I feel like, Chew, and I don't know this to be true, but this is my guess. I feel like it's cheap TV. I feel like it's
Yeah.
fairly cheap. You
Yes.
build the studio, you get the game, and then you roll in contestants.
you're paying
in.
a host, and
exactly.
that's it.
So
You're paying a whole cast.
it has, and it's captivating.
Yeah.
Like I have watched game shows, when there's nothing else on. Saved by the Bell is on this list. Hey Dude, a lot of Nickelodeon shows on this list.
Yeah,
Sister
cable.
Sister. Okay, so no Nickelodeon for
No
you.
Nickelodeon for me. Very unfamiliar
No.
with like Nickelodeon or any Disney Channel shows.
Oh, Bobby's World is on this list. Bobby's World was famously Howie Mandel, and his mom had
a
the
cartoon.
very thick Minnesota accent. Remember?
Oh, Bobby.
Don't you know,
What was the one
honey?
with Fran Drescher?
The nanny.
pull your hair out. Oh my God, is her voice annoying?
Lamb Chops Play Along is on this list. This is the list of childhood shows from the 80s and 90s.
Well, you want to talk about songs. Like Lamb Chop's got a bunch of songs.
Well, but the one
The
is
song that never ends.
The song that never ends. You know that song, Chew?
Mm-mm.
This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was.
That's pretty good.
And they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that doesn't end. That's how it goes. And they say it over and over. I can't believe you and I pulled that, by the way. Like, there was a part where I got a little nervous in the middle where I was like, I don't know it. And my brain was like, oh, yeah, you do. And just finish
Yeah, once you start the song,
how are cartoons now?
Deece.
Your little girls watch?
Bluey, huge phenomenon, global phenomenon. Disney picked it up. They bought it. It was an Australian show.
Yeah.
And now it's everywhere. That's the big one. But, everything's a streaming service now, right?
Yeah.
So, like, used to be you'd go through the TV and go to the Cartoon Network
Saturday
or
morning.
go to PBS.
Get up early.
And you'd be like, all right, I'm going back to bed, watch your shows, But now you just throw on the old Disney Plus or you throw on, whatever the other streamers are and then go from there.
Oh, yeah, because like when I was a kid, they had, I can't remember what channel it was on, but it was on just broadcast television.
Yeah.
It's called Disney Afternoon, where they had Darkwing Duck and DuckTales, and there was one with like Gummy Bears,
Chippendales
Rescue Rangers, which was fantastic.
Chippendale.
Bonkers. Just trying to think of all these other like cartoons from when I was a kid. Disney Afternoon, it would be like a 2-hour block.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like if a kid's sitting down for a 2-hour block now, to Jen's point, it's going to be 4 episodes of the same show, while this was bouncing between, all the different ones.
Alf is on this list. Alf, I really enjoyed Alf.
I missed Alf.
There were some people who were out on Alf. He was the alien from
it was funny.
Melmac. Lots of people weighing in on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. Jacob Kelly saying, how are you forgetting about Mr. Belvedere? Great question, considering
never seen an episode.
Bob Uecker was in Mr. Belvedere, famously.
It's like a 70s show, right?
Maybe
bled into the 80s a little bit.
I think you're right, yeah. Family Ties, Mork and Mindy,
Family
Different
Ties.
Strokes, pretty good. That from Augie from Fredonia. How have you not mentioned Cheers? That from Jared in the
MASH.
920.
Belvedere was 85 to 90.
But those were all, thank you for that, Chris. Those were all like late night shows. Like I remember my parents vaguely watching Hunter and MASH and Cheers. And it was Night Court in there as well.
Court, yeah.
Like I have some memories of like.
You want to talk about a jingle that sticks with you?
I don't know that one.
Play Night Court?
I don't know that
It's
one.
all instrumental. All instrumental.
Like saxophone or something? Or like,
Hill Street Blues.
Oh, yes. My parents were huge into Hill Street Blues. Chewy, they gave you a TV on the farm. You better have done your chores. Oh.
This is Night Court.
Yeah, this is Night Court. Beverly Hills Billies. Another one.
That 70s show, Dan saying, don't forget about Baywatch. Who could forget about Baywatch? That's another great theme song. Because I'm always ready.
I don't know that one.
Dinosaurs. I was into dinosaurs for a stretch there. Those animatronic. They were either animatronic or they were puppets. I'm not sure, but it was and then Ron and the Key saying, Jen, you're thinking of a different Chippendales. On that note, we got to get to Sophia Minert. She's coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Guys, it is about that time. State Fair rolling into town. Do not miss the opportunity to see my friends over at Good Health Saunas. Last year, pulled the trigger, made the big purchase, got the sauna. It has been fantastic. I'm telling you, I sleep better. I feel like I recover from my workouts better when I sit in my sauna, and you can have the same benefits. There's detoxification. I just got back from a trip. Hey, need to sit in the sauna, get all of that grossness from the trip and the airplanes and the hotels out of my system. Go to State Fair. Check them out. They'll be at the Expo Center. They'll have a display. Look, we had a friend the other day who called us up and said, Jen has a sauna. She talks about it all the time on the radio. I got to get one. How can I get one? Went ahead and made the purchase, called my friends at Good Health Saunas. You can go to their website. It's goodhealthsaunas.com, or visit them in person as the Wisconsin State Fair kicks off at the Expo Center, and tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound on 43. We've got some backups as you're making your way down from Hampton Avenue all the way down through the Capitol Drive area. Northbound's backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. Westbound 94, slow from about 16th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from Highway 100 into Waukesha County. And along eastbound 94, we got some backups from 92nd Street pretty much all the way through the stadium. Had an earlier accident at 68th Street that finally got cleared out of the way. Traffic is brought to you by 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Have unwanted clutter or junk? Go to 2meninAjunkTruck.com for a free, no-obligation estimate. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy with hot and humid with a high of 88. Tonight, partly cloudy, muggy, chance of thunderstorms later on, a low of 72. Weather brought to you by the Bud Pavilion's live music. Starting this Thursday at the Wisconsin State Fair. 33 local cover bands over 11 days. Make plans to visit the Bud Pavilion during the Wisconsin State Fair. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
After 30 years of doing knee and hip replacements, Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup thought there had to be a better way, and that led him to regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it.
Now, after 20 years of successful orthobiologic treatments, lots of clinical data, research, and teaching, Dr. Scheinkup is National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
They've done an amazing job of becoming the most significant orthobiologic and regenerative medicine practice in the United States. QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
So if you have chronic pain from arthritis and you want to avoid drugs and surgery, call the experts in this revolutionary field, QC Kinetics.
To give patients real lasting relief from pain, that's what I live for. That's my mission.
Get your free consultation now. Call QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Jen Latta here from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I have told you about the delicious pizza you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate. Now there's even more to be excited about with new sandwiches on the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy options like the turkey pesto, the meatball hero, the Italian hoagie, and more. Skip the same old lunch at your desk and grab a delicious sandwich from Proof instead. Order inside the restaurant or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
Haul away big deals this Thursday through Sunday during Fleet Farm's Truckload Savings Event. Get 40 pounds of black oil sunflower seed on sale for $12.99. Save $150 on a Blackstone 28-inch griddle, now just $249.99. Pick up 2 40-pound bags of Diamond Crystal Softener Salt for only $10. And get a 27-gallon industrial tote on sale for $6.99. Don't miss out on truckload deals this Thursday through Sunday only at Fleet Farm. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
There's a lot of sodas now that are prebiotic sodas
they
as
don't
well.
work. They're called poop.
No,
they're really called poop, I think. You buy them on Amazon.
I thought you were going to stop talking.
You got a lot of brust in you. You know that?
On 94.5 ESPN.
You know, when I rolled into Buc-ee's, it wasn't just the brisket sandwich. Picked up a Celsius energy drink to get through my long day of interviews. Celsius is the essential energy drink that I choose to stay on top of it all. You can find Celsius at your local Pick and Save stores or online at Amazon. Stay active and energized all day long with Celsius essential energy drinks.
For the latest happenings on the diamond,
With the team here the last couple days, Eric Haas had a big weekend, and pitchers love throwing to him. I mean, he's a great teammate.
to all the insight and expertise on things outside the ballpark.
Some of these deals, and of course the way that the wild card picture is right now, with the narrative is that there might be teams that are both buying and selling.
We only turn to one person. Batter up. It's Sophia Minnaert on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Two Men in a Junk Truck. From unwanted furniture to full-service residential and commercial cleanouts. Go to twomeninajunktruck.com to book your free, no-obligation, same-day estimate.
Rubber match today at AmFam Field as the Brewers take on the Atlanta Braves. Won the first, lost the second. They play today at 1:10 this afternoon. That's where Sophia Minnaert will be. Sophia, let's get to the Brewers at the trade deadline. They didn't make one. Famously, that thing was going around on social media. They were one of 3 teams that did not make a deal on Tuesday. Well, yeah, but they made several deals before Tuesday, adding 3 pitchers to the roster. Should these moves be seen as something that put them closer to a deep playoff run?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when we talked to GM Matt Arnold, it's look, they addressed like their most glaring need. I feel like every week we've come on here and we've talked about the pitching staff and the injuries and transactions and moves. And so I think this was their most glaring need. And Matt did share with us that, they were in on a lot of different conversations, as all GMs are. And, of course, they also looked at adding a bat. I think that question may have come up for fans with Christian Yelich's absence for now. And honestly, he said, I felt really good about the position player group that we have and felt like their needs were more pressing on the pitching side. So, yeah, you go back, it was Aaron Savali the first week of July. They've already gotten a couple of good starts from him. They added Nick Mears from Colorado over the weekend. He had a great debut Monday night, clean inning, 2 strikeouts, high velocity. His stuff looked really good. So I think that's an arm that they're counting on in the bullpen. And then Frankie Montas that they acquired from Cincinnati, who comes with a lot of experience. And they feel like they can put a better defense behind him and in a better ballpark than what a Great American Ballpark is. And that they can get improvement from him. So I think they feel good, and they feel like they got what they needed and checked the boxes that they needed to kind of bolster their pitching staff.
Sophia, do we have a timeline on Yelich? Everything I read seems like he will need surgery at the end of the season, but are they just going to try and manage it now with medication and treatment?
Yeah, look, he really wants to come back and play, and obviously he was off to a phenomenal start this season and coming off of the All-Star game. No decisions have been made yet about the short or the long term. He's still in the treatment phase of things. He's not doing any baseball stuff yet, but he definitely wants to try to get back and play as much of the season as he can. It's just a matter of, how his back and his body cooperate and allow him to do that. So, yeah, as of right now, there's no clear timeline for him.
Sophia, has the league ever handed out a gold glove 107 games into the season? Because they can just give it to Bryce Turang right now, right? Let's just take care of, let's just, it's a formality. Like, just let's have a ceremony today before the game.
Let's just make our own trophy and just do it before the game.
Yeah,
we could do an arts and crafts. So actually, this was funny. At spring training, Pat Murphy assigned the relievers a project, and Hobie Milner took the lead on this. I don't know if you guys remember this, but their task was to make a glove out of materials that they just found at the ballpark. So of course, Dr. Milner, as we call him, Hobie kind of took the lead on this project and recruited some of the guys to help him with this. And he actually ended up making a pretty legit glove out of an old medicine ball, and then kind of stitched it together, had some of the guys paint it. I mean, we could maybe recruit Hobie to make another gold glove for Bryce and present it to him.
Yeah, I'm all on board for that. But I mean, his defense has been spectacular. So I mean, the game he had where he makes a diving catch front-handed, makes a diving catch backhanded to save an inning. He's a big reason, not just offensively but defensively, where this team is where they're at.
Yeah, I think you're talking about against Miami, and it's back-to-back plays where he's essentially saving 4 runs. Like you can't, and I think this is where baseball is maybe a little bit behind of like, it seems like you can measure everything else in the game. And I just think the defensive metrics are probably still a little bit behind. That being said, he is still leading the National League in defensive runs saved. I think it's at 15 now. And I, we had talked about this around the All-Star game. He was absolutely deserving of being an All-Star there too, just for the offense and for the defense. But there is no doubt. Just watching him every day, I don't think you can find a better defensive second baseman in the league. The way, it's just his range, his hands, his quickness, the release, the quick exchanges. How many double plays that he and Willy Adames have turned. He's just exceptional, and he works really, really hard at it. He's very consistent with the early work. He's always refining things. He's talked about how much Willy Adames has helped them of just being kind of the quarterback of that infield. And Willie's constantly talking to Bryce and to Joey Ortiz on the other side at third base. So Willie deserves a lot of credit for what he's done with them too. But any pitcher on any night will tell you that Bryce Terang has done something great for them that night.
Sophia Minnaert joining Jen, Gabe, and Chewy as she does each and every week during the baseball season. Freddie Peralta expected to take the bump today for the Brewers. Sophia, what's going on with him? It feels like he has not had the season that we expected him to have. He's had some early inning struggles, particularly in the first. What is going on with Freddie?
Yeah, this is part of a season. First of all, I would say that considering everything else that has happened with the pitching staff, the fact that Freddie has taken the ball every turn, only he and Colin Ray can make that claim on this stuff right now, has been extremely valuable. And that means a lot, right? When a lot has put on him of now being the ace of this staff, the leader of this staff, obviously he's going up against great matchups on the other side as well. So I would say, first of all, that has been the most valuable thing that he has provided. And then this is just part of kind of how Freddie's seasons go. He's had to kind of battle this for his career. Sometimes it's the first inning, sometimes it's a long inning, sometimes it's getting 2 strikes and not being able to put a hitter away. I talked to Carlos Villanueva about this, former Brewer, and he's very, very close with Freddie and works with him really extensively in the offseason, along with Chris Hook and the rest of the pitching group. But it's like they almost have to set an alert every 2 to 3 weeks to just remind Freddie kind of how nasty he is, how good his fastball is, how everything has to come off of that. And sometimes, because he's turned himself into such a complete pitcher, I think sometimes he'll deviate from that and he'll go to off-speed stuff more. And they're like, no, stick to, right? The hitters have told you now for 6+ seasons that your fastball is one of the best in the game. Stick to that, right? Keep that as your foundation for everything. And sometimes players need to hear that, right? Sometimes players need to be reminded of kind of who they are and what got them here and what they're great at. So, again, I could say that, Freddie, I think, has actually had a good season, in my opinion. I know he's coming off of a bad start the last time out, but just what he has brought to this staff in a time of, a lot of turnover. It's been pretty tumultuous with the staff. Freddie has been very steady. And again, he's coming up on start 23. He made 30 last year. So I think that's extremely valuable.
Sophia, you ever see frustration in the Brewer players around the trade deadline, knowing that big market teams that are playing well can go out and get higher quality players because of the way baseball is structured? From a revenue standpoint, you ever see guys show frustration of this isn't really fair?
Yeah, of course they talk about it, right? MLB Network is on all day in the clubhouse, and so we talk about some of the moves that the other teams are making, and I think this year specifically it was a very active trade deadline, but you saw really high prices, specifically for pitching, prospects, 3 or 4 prospects going for a pitcher, maybe 2. So, we saw a lot of activity, but I think these guys have a really good understanding of the business. So it's kind of you're kind of just focused on staying in your own lane and what's happening with our team. And, there's obviously a game to be played that night. So they're obviously aware of it. We talk about it. It's fun to talk about some of the moves that other teams are making, especially within the division. The Cardinals were active, the Pirates were active, the Cubs made some interesting moves kind of for their short term and for their future. So you're looking at kind of like how that changes the landscape for the rest of the way. But I think they have a really good understanding of just what the expectations are. And I think they also understand, like, hey, we've given ourselves a really good position here in the second half of the division lead that they have, and hopefully a chance to secure that division. So, yeah, I think it's fun to talk about this time of year.
Did I see this right, Sophia? That Pat Murphy's joke and kind of just comments about Vlad Guerrero Jr. actually led to a call from the Toronto Blue Jays?
They that's what they said, and that was around when
Christian got hurt.
Yeah, in Chicago when Christian got hurt, and obviously the deadline was coming up, and at that point we knew that Christian was going on the IL, and again didn't know for how long, and still don't know for how long. So one of the reporters was asking if that changed the Brewers' approach at the deadline, and Murph, as you know, likes to joke around a lot. And so it was an offhand comment, right? Of like, well, what do you want us to do? Right. It's really hard to replace a player like Christian Yelich. Like, those players aren't readily available. And obviously there's a steep cost to that. So, I think poor Vladdy Jr. was just the name that Murph threw out. And I guess that got back to the Blue Jays. And again, these GMs, they have constant conversations around a lot of players. The Blue Jays said they were not planning on trading Vladdy Jr. or never got close to trading him, but it is kind of funny how sometimes these conversations start.
Sophia, we appreciate you. Get out to the ballpark, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks. Have a great day.
She's Sophia Minnaert. You can watch her, of course, on Bally Sports Wisconsin as she continues to cover the Crew in the final few months of this season, and hopefully in a long playoff run. I want to tell you guys about my friends over at Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. Make it your next dinner destination. It is nestled on the second floor of St. Kate. It is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Every bite there, guys, is a work of culinary artistry. You can learn more and make reservations at Aria at stkate.com. That's Aria at stkate.com.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink. All the big plays.
Rush, left field, way back, gone.
Every single week.
Here's the pitch from Abreu. Oh, he drilled him on the shoulder, and the benches are starting to clear.
Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio happens right here.
In there, and that does it. History in the desert.
Tune in for baseball's biggest matchups here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming on the Wisconsin On Demand app.
You're never going to believe it.
Why would I not believe it?
John Hoyman has a big idea. Big.
John, our chief financial officer?
Hi, Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Are we in trouble?
No. Everything is great.
Tell them your idea.
18-month special financing for all purchases made in July.
Subject to approved credit, right?
Of course. Just ask an associate for details.
That's a year and a half to pay. Can we do that?
We're an employee-owned company. We can do anything we want.
Sarah, are you nervous we can't afford it?
Sarah, this is John, our CFO. If John says we can afford it, we can afford it.
Do you like the idea of 18-month special financing?
I like it.
I like it.
But only for purchases made in July, right?
Right.
I like it.
18-month special financing for all purchases made in July. Only at Kessler's. For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Wrangler season out there. T-shirt days, denim jacket nights. A pair of broken-in jeans you could live in. Open roads, endless horizons, no destinations. This is when adventure starts calling. And you need to be ready in jeans that are made for the unpredictable journey that we call life. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Discover the difference at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Higher Love Cannabis Company is the only cultivator in the UP offering organic, clean green certified products. That means quality you can trust every time. With 7 locations across the UP, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood, finding your higher love is easier than ever before. And for our friends in Green Bay, Higher Love is less than an hour away. Kindness starts with you. Experience Higher Love today. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD and follow them on social media at Find Higher Love.
I'm Ben Jewick with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. The crew is winning ball games here in Milwaukee and around the country. Our team stands ready to help your organization win across North America. Powered by Coakley Connect, our revolutionary facilities management platform. The Coakley crew supports clients across the country manage their real estate portfolio, offering facility-focused products and services, interior design, construction, new furniture, installation, and move management. We'll help you create and manage interior environments that drive your teams forward. Visit CoakleyBrothers.com and hit a home run.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I just figured if I got the yellow ones from Mexico, I could slip those in without her. Did you know the Viagra in Mexico is yellow?
Had no idea.
Yeah.
Wait, can you just paint it? You just drop it in a little food coloring?
You probably
call
could,
it
like
an
an egg. I'm going to try that.
Easter has a new meaning in the Chimura household.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Are you ready to upgrade the concrete surfaces in your home? Chewy is. Chewy's got the folks from my favorite spot, Showtime Floors, coming out to his place to install Floor Shield, because I've been talking about it a lot. And look, you're probably like both of us. You don't know that you need it, but then if you get it, you'll be like, I can't believe I didn't have this. The floor in my garage is beautiful and protected. No more of like, don't run out to the garage with your shoes off because it's dusty and dirty and gross. No, it is clean and it is eco-friendly and it is protecting the concrete surfaces, and I feel so much better about the condition of our garage floor. If you are in that boat, you need to contact my friends at Showtime Floors. Enjoy a 15-year warranty against wear. And if you mention ESPN, guys, they're going to give you free crack repair and 10% off the total. ShowtimeFloors.com, ShowtimeFloors.com. So did we decide? It sounded like y'all were trying to convince me that there are too many other teams in the NFC for me to be confident about the Packers making it to the NFC Championship game, like Chris Carlin has said about the Green Bay Packers.
I think it can be a goal, but to expect them to be there, I think, is too far. Like, do I think they could do it? Yes, but I don't feel confident like I did when they were the number 1 seeds those years that Aaron Rodgers won the MVP.
You just have to wait, see how injuries play out, see how everything plays out. There's so many unknowns.
Like, there's this
but
team,
the goal should be obviously the Super Bowl, but making it to the NFC Championship would be, I think, a great year at this standpoint.
They're not established enough to be like, yep, NFC Championship game or bust. We're just not quite there yet. It's too many things still have to fall into place for this team. And could they happen? Absolutely.
Sure.
I just don't think that can be the expectation quite yet.
I do like, though, that here we are about to start August, and a lot of people are high on the Packers. Even with the youth, even with the new defense, a lot of people feel like this is a team that should be making a lot of noise as the season rolls on. And speaking of making noise, Will Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
Got a special guest on the co-hosts.
Who's that?
I can't tell you. It's a big reveal coming up at 9 o'clock.
Secret?
Secret. No, it's not. No.
Oh, I thought it'd be fun.
Wouldn't you know?
I feel like you would have been used
I
to
would
recruit
know, but
Frank.
there's a good chance I may have forgotten.
Fair enough.
Westbound 94, a little bit tight from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's backed up just a bit from 84th Street to Holly Road, and then again through the stadium.